Hey band directors, flute players, and do-it-yourselfers. My name is Michelle, this is Glenn, and as a band director for 20 years and a current band director, we are aware of some of the difficulties that will arise this school year with some of our spittier instruments. Now some of you may think that brass instruments are the spittiest instruments of all, but maybe that's because you haven't experienced the peppering of your face from a flute player. So Glenn has come up with a way to help create a shield for your flute players. And it's made out of things that you may have right in your house. For example, the claw. So this is made by Goody. This is 3.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches deep. And Glenn is going to show you how to create a shield for the flute players out of this.
All right. So in my mind, I kind of knew of these hair thingies and thought that they would be a good thing to clasp around the head joint. And they just happened to line up exactly with 3 tines on the bottom to go underneath, and then 2 in the middle right over the hole that we're going to actually remove so that we can play the flute. So I got to mark those. I'm just going to kind of put a little scratch on them because I'm going to actually cut those out. And I have a Dremel tool. If you don't have a Dremel tool, you probably could take a wire cutters maybe and try to snap them or cut them out without damaging wrists. But the Dremel makes a nice clean cut. And you can do it kind of almost flush. That's 1. Two. And the Dremel is going to create some little burrs that you just have to take off. Also, you take a file and you kind of smooth those out a little bit, and you'll see why a little bit later. So now we took out the 2 front teeth. You can see how that now makes it where you have access to the hole. Make a sound on it, works fine. The next part about this is the block, which you're just going to use a regular old face mask that you can get at usually drugstore or Walmart, Walgreens. And so it has to be the one that has the aluminum kind of shaping part on the top that goes over your nose. That'll be useful. And first, before we do that, we're going to want to take the rubber band on the side and about halfway up, tie a knot in it, and you'll see why in a second here. So you're going to basically cut the rubber band in half. Like that. Now, kind of flatten it out. And the white part's on the inside, so that's what you're going to blow up against. You lay it in the jaws of this hair clasp, kind of centering the aluminum nose thing, and then let it close so that it just kind of fills the middle there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to secure the ends where we tied the knot around the rubber band. We're going to bend it back and then put the rubber band around the part that you grab. Do that on both sides, and that'll keep the mask out of the way on the ends. And on the opposite side, Okay, you have your mask in place now. So now when I open up, the mask is going to block in the center where some of the air can go. And then it's also going to provide a block here that I'm going to tug up in the middle there where the two teeth are removed. I'm going to tug up a little bit so that now when we put the head joint in the jaws, you can see that we've got block in the middle, and now by tugging up the little aluminum part, you make a little tiny little hood that's going to capture the airstream when you play. So it should work like this. So you're still able to make a sound, no problem. Actually, the two teeth that remain on the head joint actually help to align your embouchure, so I kind of find that helpful. And of course, rolling, there's no problem. But the best thing is that you have now stopped the airstream, and you're not going to have to worry about those airborne particles of air transmitting any disease. They're going to get stopped by the mask at both the middle and the upper levels.
So not being flute players ourselves, we're hoping that you might make this and send us your videos of your creation and how you're creating a shield for your flute.